This is the future.
I think it is now safe to say that this is the time wherein we wait for the big Warframe update this year. The Veilbreaker update is finally in place, and I think we won't be seeing any other post-Veilbreaker stuff. Digital Extremes are preparing for the big update, which is the Duviri paradox, and I think you all know what we will be getting from this, but no one knows what we will be getting on day one of the Duviri paradox updates. Okay, let me explain. We all know that the Duviri paradox offers a new cinematic story quest. Players will get to experience a fresh narrative, complete with new characters, settings, and creatures which are set in the void, which is very exciting for those players who value lore in the world of Warframe. Beyond the story edition, the expansion will introduce never-before-seen mechanics and systems to explore. While Digital Extremes has teased the expansion for years, it's finally providing a more in-depth look at the upcoming content. In terms of the gameplay, the Duviri paradox will offer a new kind of experience for players. While it uses the core mechanics of Warframe, there will be twists on the classic formula. Most notably, the Warframes are absent at the start, and the Drifter will begin lightly armed, with only a rifle and some strange powers that he doesn't understand. When he discovers some ancient Warframes later in the trailer, it's unclear when he'll get to suit up to augment his power. Long story short, we see an operator or drifter-only open world, but we still can access Warframes, and the story will focus on the Void's lore, possibly getting a clearer look at who exactly is the man in the wall. Aside from that, we don't know what exactly is the content that we will be chugging on the update. We know the story and who is involved, but what exactly are the features that we will be getting from the Duviri paradox update? I just hope that in the next dev stream, Digital Extremes will talk something new about the Duviri paradox, and not just how the story goes, how operator gameplay would work in the game, the antagonist in the Duviri paradox, and all those things we already knew that is coming in the Duviri paradox update, because if they will show the same thing over again, nothing new, and just expanded on what we will be getting from the things they have revealed, then it's another Warframe deja vu again. What am I talking about? I'm talking about the pattern of how Digital Extremes release content nowadays that started with the Railjack system, I think, or please correct me if I'm wrong. Take note that this is just my opinion, but the way I see it, Digital Extremes seem to have this knack nowadays of releasing big updates and then doing post-update content. I saw it start with the Empyrean update, wherein there are tons of features shown in Tenecon where it was first shown, but in the release, it looks like it's not even complete. Parts are missing and it felt like an unfinished update. Then, after months and years, Digital Extremes were finally added, and even reworked the Railjack system. The same can be said with the new War update. All we got was a long-ass story quest, which is good at a point, since we have stepped away from the usual content island update in all those open-world areas done by Digital Extremes, but, the developer may admit it or not, the story felt like unfinished, rushed, and uninspired. Like, there was part of it that doesn't make sense. For example, the hype was built around Era to be the main antagonist in the game, but surprised Tenno, the Orokin with no balls, was the head of it all. It's classic, the puppet becomes the master, and the master becomes the puppet. It's a great twist, if only it was delivered well, and that part when Era was helping the Tenno was cringe as hell for me. After that, we get the Natayuk bow from completing the quest, but it was months before Digital Extremes released post-New War content, that should be part of the initial New War update, only to be released a few months after. Content is content, and we should be thankful, but I hope that Digital Extremes won't leave us hanging always, like it would take months before we understand that part of the big update is due on release after the initial release of the big update. You get what I'm saying, right? In my opinion, the most successful update that Digital Extremes should replicate are the Plains of Eidolon and the Deimos update. Plains of Eidolon was complete, and we did see everything that was teased, and all they need is to update some parts of it, like those additional Eidolons. Also, it was a good transition, in my opinion, as they intend to use the Eidolon hunt to house the rewards from the removed trials or raids in the past, and it was refreshing, since it's an open world, a feature that Warframe has never seen before. In the case of Deimos, it was just a short tease, and honestly, I was surprised by this infested update. It wasn't expected and they show little on this update. It was also during the pandemic, and it was delivered because it has one of the most awesome features right now in the game, which is the Helminth system. Like it or not, the Helminth system is what kept players like me from playing the game despite the short update of demos. It had made a huge impact, and still has a big importance in the game right now. In the case of Duviri Paradox, I have this feeling that it will somehow be similar to the new War update, or the closest is the Fortuna update wherein it would be another content island made for the operator or drifter, but I am hoping that this is wrong. I hope that Duviri Paradox is not short though. Like after we grind for all the things and see all the story and gameplay it has to offer, then we just leave the content island, or we have to wait for months to see a feature of Duviri Paradox added to the game. Take note that this is only my opinion and it depends if Digital Extremes will show something new in their upcoming dev stream. They might reveal something more about Duviri, a feature that will keep us playing the game for months before the next update, but if they don't, then it will be like the new War wherein we will see post-Duviri content after a few months. Also, nobody is saying that Duviri sucks. I'm just here to remind you to lower your expectations about this update. We might see some flashy trailers from the upcoming update, but honestly, nobody will fall from that anymore, and Warframe players know that it's better to expect nothing and enjoy the content. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Thank you so much for watching. Squad Leader signing off.